this is my experience with all my VAR interviews. The only time it's gone different or more than 10 minutes is if something comes up that you didn't tell me about, tell your lawyer about, that you should have told me about. You did something in the past that you never told anybody about. Ding, 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 ding. And then it comes up at the interview. That's the only time that VAR interview is supposed to take, or is going to take more than 10 minutes. So hint, hint, talk to your lawyer. Let me just use this as a time for selfish plug. Talk to your lawyer. Before you go to your interview, let me just use this as a great time to say, whether I'm your lawyer or not, whether you have a different lawyer, whoever is your lawyer, you better trust your lawyer enough to tell them everything. Tell them, have you ever, stated on an application that you're a U.S. citizen when you're not? Is there a time that you were charged with something? Have you ever been charged with rape before? Have you ever come close to raping a person before? Does the government think you came close to raping a person? I'm being dramatic for a reason. These are things you might want to tell your lawyer before we get to the interview. All right, because this is the only things that will make your interview longer than 10 minutes and could stand in the way of you getting a green card once your I-360 is approved. I always tell Mike, once we get that VAR approval, that I-3 VAR approval, unless something comes up that I don't know about, that's exactly how I say, you should definitely get a green card at this. Once this I-360 VAR is approved, unless something comes up there I didn't know about, that you needed to tell me about, that's the only thing that could come in the way of you getting this 10-year green card. In other words, is there something hidden that you've never told somebody? That's the time you want to tell your lawyer. Because when we get to the interview, it's too late for me to try to cover up for you. It's too late for me to try to figure out how to come up with an explanation for something you never told me about, or that you're in a situation you were in. Make sure. And that's why trust is so important. You definitely want to hire a lawyer. Outside of hiring a lawyer that's competent, do hire a lawyer that knows what they're doing. Do hire a lawyer that knows VAR. But most important from them on, do hire a lawyer that you trust, because you got to trust that lawyer enough to be able to tell them your deep secrets, your deep hidden dark secrets. I'm making a joke out of it, but I'm being serious. You have to be able to trust your lawyer enough to tell them these things, because otherwise we get to the interview and we're screwed, and I find out something they never told me about, or the officer brings up something and then I'm scrambling on how to figure out how to get you out of this that you never told me about. Okay, aside from us finding out something we didn't know about. And by the way, there's a small percentage of clients maybe who forgot, small percentage, but most times you remember, you just didn't tell me. But small percentage of clients maybe had something in the past, forgot about, or maybe didn't think it's a big deal, and then it comes up at the end. Very small point.